Hi everyone, I'm Becky and I'm the Executive Production Assistant with Flagstaff Shakespeare Festival, and in this video I'm going to give you some tips on how to structure your resume. So your resume is a document that showcases your experience, your education and training, and any special skills that you have in a professional way. And it's okay if you don't have many credits, everyone starts somewhere. Now this video is going to focus on a performance resume, but I've got a little tip for any of you multi-hyphenates at the end. So I've broken this down into 4 parts of the resume, and the first is the header. Now the most important information on your resume is your name, so you want to make sure that it's in a very readable font. You're doing yourself a disservice if you're leaving people wondering or guessing what your name is. Next is your contact information, and this includes your phone number, your email address, and your website if you've got it. It's not important for you to have your home address on your resume. Now, if you've got an agent, you'll include their letterhead and their contact information, and you'll probably also include your website as well. Next is your union affiliation. Are you a member of the union? Are you EMC, which is the Equity Membership Candidacy Program? Or are you SAG-AFTRA? And if you're none of those, if you're non-union, that's okay, you just won't put it. Next, you'll include your height and your vocal range. And I've heard both sides of the coin about whether or not to include your hair and your eye color, with the idea being that theoretically your resume is attached to your headshot, so if anyone wanted to know that information, they could just flip it over and there it is. I personally like to include my hair and eye color on my resume. I think it's just one less step for somebody else to do, but I know people who include it and I know people who don't. And if you've got your weight on your resume, you can go ahead and take that off. I've pretty much heard that that doesn't need to be on there. The final thing that I like to include on my headshot is another photo, because I've got another look that I want to showcase. So when I walk into the room, I'm most likely going to walk in with my curly hair. So I've also got some photos of me with straight hair. Now, if you're somebody who can grow facial hair, maybe you've got a headshot with facial hair and a headshot without. Or maybe you've got a headshot with you shaved, and then maybe you've also got a headshot of you with hair. So they're just extra looks. I know people who do them and I know people who don't, so that's another thing I'll leave up to you. Now the second section is your credits, and these are going to be organized 2 ways. 1, by importance, and 2, I like to organize them by type. So I've got professional regional credits, educational credits from college, or if you're in college, from high school, readings and workshops, and then TV, film, and commercial. And you can also include any awards that you deem important, or any concerts or cabarets that are relevant. Now, as I am taping this, we're currently in the COVID-19 global pandemic, and I know a lot of people, myself included, have had work that has been canceled or postponed indefinitely, and we're all kind of wondering how to include this on our resume. And from what I've gathered, if you're somebody who has started performances or previews, or maybe you were deep into tech, it's something that you can go ahead, or something that you might want to keep on your resume, and then make a little note saying canceled due to COVID-19 or something like that. But then for people who haven't started rehearsals, or were maybe only a couple days into rehearsals, I'm not really sure. There are conversations happening every day as to whether or not to include that or to not, and the short answer is I just don't know. If you have any insight, feel free to comment and let me know. And that actually leads me to my final portion of this category, which is annotating. So I like to put a little asterisk or another symbol for anything that was a regional or a world premiere, anything that is upcoming that I haven't yet started, but that I've got that contract for and I'm gonna be doing it, or anything that's current, anything that I'm currently doing. On my resume, I don't have a lot of musicals. I've got a lot of plays and non-musicals, so I also like to include anything that was a singing role, just in case it wasn't apparent. The third section is your training and your education. So if you're somebody who studied any performing arts in college or university, or in any classes outside of that, and be specific about who you studied with and what you studied, and what specific classes you studied. So whether or not that was like Meisner or Shakespeare or tap, ballet, etc. And then here you'll also include masterclasses and workshops. And the fourth section of your resume is your special skills. And this is anything else that you want to highlight that you'd like for casting directors to know. And this can be anything from, are you bilingual? What foreign languages do you know? Do you know any dialects? Any other dances? Can you play any instruments? Do you know stage combat? Are you a hiker, a biker? Do you know any impersonation? Can you do any impersonations? Are you a juggler, an aerial artist, or an acrobat? Do you play any sports? Anything like that. Now, the two most important things for your special skills are that you don't lie and that you're comfortable doing anything on the spot if you get asked, and also that you're comfortable doing it 8 times a week. Now, I think special skills are important to list for 2 reasons. One is because casting directors are actively searching for people for plays that have characters or performers who do these things. And the second is it gives them a little bit more information about who you are as a person, as an artist, as an individual. Now, my tip for any of you multi-hyphenates, for anyone who is skilled in more than one area of theater, is to include it in your special skills. You don't really want to include it on your performance, within your performance credits, because it might muddy the waters. So what I like to do is I put stage management resume available upon request. And you could do that with anything, directing, choreography, lighting design, costume design, carpentry, ... Now, the final thing about your resume is that you want to proofread it. You want to proofread it for errors and spelling mistakes, grammatical mistakes, any formatting issues. And what I like to do is once I've reformatted my resume, I'll print it out and I will look at the hard copy because I think I'll find some things on there that I might not if I were just staring at the screen. And I also like to give it to a friend or a family member to have a fresh pair of eyes take a look at it as well. Thank you all so much. I hope these tips were helpful for you. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I hope you are all staying happy and healthy and safe. Thank you.